Hello everybody, how are you doing today? So I want to talk about what life in London is really like. I'm going to make an honest video. I'm going to make it as honest as I can because I do get messages from you guys all the time asking me about money, quality of living, is London dangerous, is it really that smoggy and foggy and all of this, and I'm going to try to answer all of your questions as honest as possible, and I'm not trying to scare anyone away. I just want you to know what you're getting yourself into, and then if living in London is still your dream, then that's perfect. And then if after the video you think actually that's not for me, that is okay as well, but at least I hope I can paint a realistic picture of what life over here is like. So the first thing I want to talk about is the obvious, so that is money. The truth is, since I've been living in London, I have never had enough money. Now the question is, what is enough money? But I consider enough money as being able to live a very good life in London, meaning, you know, being able to go out and eat out and meet your friends, go out for a drink, maybe go to the cinema, maybe go to a concert or a festival, pay your rent, pay your food and pay your bills at the same time. I have never had enough money to do all of that all the time. There are moments where I need to save a lot of money to be able to afford to live in London. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a little while, you do know that I have quite a good job and, you know, I earn money every month. I do work in an office and I earn enough money, but it's still not enough. I've been working for, I want to say, for 5 years now, full time, and I still haven't reached that point in my career where I feel I am super confident I can save money on top of living life and kind of, you know, having a great time all the time. I am not there. I need to be careful. I need to cook a lot at home, and I need to very often order the cheapest thing on the menu or on the drinks menu, or just not go out at all because I just don't have any money. I also don't really go shopping that often, and by shopping I mean going out to, I don't know, H&M and buying a new summer outfit and new shoes and new this all the time. I don't, because I do not have enough money. I hope that is clear now. I just want to tell you that I've been working for a good 5 years and I still haven't reached that point where I can think of, am I going to have a mortgage? Am I going to buy a flat? Am I going to do any of this? Because I'm just not at that point. And now you might say, but that's just because you're not very good at your job and your career is very slow. I don't think so. I think my career has moved progressively good, and I think I've done well. And if I compare myself to other people who are the same age as me, they're all kind of earning the same type of money and they're all in the same situation. So this is just London for you. You can have a career and you can move up and you can earn a good salary, but it doesn't mean that in your end 20s, which is what I am right now, you're gonna have a very comfortable money situation. So that might be scary, but you know what? I don't really mind, because the excitement of living in London and the novelty of walking out my door and being in the middle of life happening every single day totally outweighs the fact that sometimes I cannot, you know, buy a top at H&M or have to buy a cheaper cocktail or anything like that. The excitement of life and the move and the new restaurants and the openings and just the excitement of being here and being able to sit in a park. If I can't sit in a restaurant, I'll sit in a park. And that excitement outweighs the other bit, if that makes sense. So unless you're incredibly clever and your career is going to go like that, in your end 20s, you will still struggle a little bit. And please don't get this wrong. I'm not struggling. I know there are people who live on the street or who have to share a bedroom with 3 other people. I don't have to do that, but I feel that in other countries, especially in Germany, in your end 20s, you ideally should have reached a higher standard of living. The next thing I want to talk about, which is the truth in London, is the living situation. So I have made another video about rental costs and salary and income already. So I'll leave that down below because I'm not going to talk any numbers in this video, just truths. So in other countries, and again, especially in Germany, at your end 20s or even early 30s, you are most likely either owning your own flat or house. In London, end 20s, being able to own your own flat or even house is pretty much impossible. A lot of my friends are also end 20s or early 30s, and they are sharing a flat with 3, 2, 4 other people. They're living in a shared flat, just like me and just like a lot of other people. And in other countries this might be, you know, looked at in a bit of a weird way. So what do you mean you're 31 and you're still sharing a flat or a house? Isn't that a bit, you know, aren't you a bit more grown up than that? In other countries maybe yes, and maybe in other parts of the UK as well, but in London it's completely normal. So you can be 34 and you can be sharing a flat with 5 other people and it's going to be the most normal thing in the world. But again, for you, it's important to know that this might be what you have to do. You're probably not going to be owning your own massive loft by that age. So the money and career and flat and living situation kind of shows you that living in London slows your life down in a way. I hope that makes sense. So if you were living outside of London or maybe in another country, when you're 30, let's just put it like 30, when you're 30, you would have reached another quality of life and living at that age than you will in London. So London is going to slow your life down in terms of progress to what society tells you to do. Hope that makes sense. But then again, going back, I don't mind, and none of my friends do mind. A lot of my friends are over 30 and they don't mind, and they love the life and the excitement and the actual sort of excitement that comes with living with other people, even if you're 35, if that makes sense. So again, if that's for you and if you don't mind, then this is the right place for you to be, because it's incredibly exciting. I don't know, I don't think I have to mention that one more time because all of my other videos are about how exciting life in London is. But just to let you know that you won't reach that level really quickly unless, I guess, you find someone super rich who's going to be your partner and you're going to sort of accelerate. But if you live a normal life, then that might kind of slow down. Another thing you guys always ask me is London dangerous? Because London is a capital, people get stabbed and shot on the street and all of this, and is it true? Is it really that dangerous? And right now I do want to say it's not. I've got friends who live in Brixton, and Brixton is known to be the dangerous area, but I personally, and that's just my experience, so maybe other people have different experience, so then I'm sorry, but from my experience, even if you live in Brixton or any other dangerous area, it's not really that dangerous at all. I've never come across anyone threatening me. I've never been in a situation where someone has been threatened. I've never come across any sort of dangerous midnight encounters as a woman. In general, people are nice and helpful, and even if they look a little bit scary because, you know, maybe it's a bit dark, they're normally just really nice. And so far I haven't come across anything like that. Of course, London comes with the dangers of every big city, yes, and be careful and, you know, don't leave your bag open and maybe don't walk around at night on your own, you know, across the whole city. But in general, I want to say it's not as dangerous as people think it is. So you're not going to be, you know, attacked on the street straight away, and Brixton is not that dangerous. It's just a bit rough, but roughness doesn't mean, you know, like I said, that you're going to be attacked straight away. And again, some people might have different opinions, and please leave them down below. But for me, I haven't encountered anything like that, and I do generally feel very safe in London. So I guess that means something as well, because I've been here for a while and I'm a woman and I feel safe. So that's that. And then the last thing is kind of like a general point I want to make. So as I talked about the quality of life before and the sort of slowness of life, the quality of life, I guess, also has to do with the fact that London is a big city, and a fact is that one ride on the Northern Line, which is the Black Tube Underground line, for your lungs is the equivalent of smoking one cigarette. So yes, there is a lot of smog in London, and I once spoke to an Uber driver who told me that if he wears a white shirt in the summer and he leaves the window down the whole day while he's driving, the collar of the white shirt will be black by the end of the day, because he's driving in the city, you know, all day with the wind potentially open coming to his collar. So yes, sometimes when you blow your nose, there is blackness coming out, which is smog. So there is smog, and it's probably not the most healthy for your lungs. That is true. And it can also be quite dirty at times. It's not nothing in comparison to some other cities in Europe. So for example, if you've ever been to Paris, I want to say Paris is dirtier than London, and London kind of has its phases. So especially where I live in Camden, if you walk around Camden on a Sunday morning after people have been on a night out, it is incredibly dirty. And I do mean leftover chicken bones and paper and human waste on the streets. That is the truth. I don't mind. I know it's going to be gone. I know it's going to be clean, and during normal sort of daytime it's not there. But people have crazy parties, and I guess to excess. So that is true for Camden. That is very much true for Shoreditch and Hackney and all those sort of party areas. So that happens because it's a capital, right? And people have too much of a good time. So that, you know, you kind of have to learn to not look too much when you're walking around Sunday morning, Saturday morning, which I don't do too often, but when I do, I'm like, I walk like this, basically. So yeah, it's dirty and it's smoggy at times as well. But then again, on the other hand, at times, and if you don't take the tube, you can just take the bus or walk. So I've discovered walking for myself, and it kind of blew my mind, because it changed a lot of things, and you can kind of see, you know, how everything goes together and how far Oxford Circus actually is from Tottenham Court Road. So that is great. But you can also go to Hyde Park or Piccadilly or Primrose Hill or Victoria Park or any other greenness, and they are around everywhere. And if you are in the middle of Hyde Park, and if you find a spot, there will be no one around you. You're going to be surrounded by trees and greenness and nature, and you'll be fine, if you know what I mean. So it's not like that everywhere, and just because you walk through London once, it doesn't mean that you've smoked 500 cigarettes. I just wanted to tell you that for your lungs and sort of, you know, everything that goes with it, it's probably not the best all the time. So that is another truth. So I hope that gives you a little bit of an overview and a bit of a summary about the truth of living in London. So no money, no space, not the healthiest for your lungs, but fairly safe, and a lot of fun, and so much fun and so much excitement. And every time I go somewhere else, I feel I'm missing out on life. So new festivals, new restaurants, new openings, new cafes, new events, new people, new areas every single day. So like I said, all of that outweighs the negative points, but I did want to tell you so that you know what you're getting yourself into, and I hope that helped you. So leave me a comment down below if you have any further questions. I will try to answer them, and I think that's it. Like I said, I hope that helped you, and I will see you next week. I make new videos every week. They are mostly about my life abroad as a German in the UK, and yeah, please subscribe. I cannot wait to see you again next week. Thank you for watching, and please follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat as well. Goodbye.